Welcome back to South Asian Focus TV. We've got Radha Menon here, who's the writer for The Washing Machine, जो प्ले यहाँ पर टोरंटो में फीचर हो रहा है. आज हम उनसे बात करने वाले हैं कि शो में वो कैसे इन्वॉल्व हुई, उन्होंने कैसे लिखा, उनकी background क्या है, all the production technicians. We're going to talk all about the play Washing Machine. Welcome to the show, Radha. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, we're really happy to have you here. So हमें बताइए कि how did you get involved with the Washing Machine?
Well, I've been writing for a long time, and this story just came to me, as many good stories do. You know, I sat down and I started to write, and as a child, I lived in India. I lived on this wonderful farm. It was a massive farm of coconuts and bananas, and I would walk down with my dogs, and there were, next door to us there was a convent, and loads of monkeys would come over the wall every day. They would actually mug the maid and steal the milk.
Oh, something you see happening in India.
Yeah, completely. And I would pick up a stick and I would put it up against my shoulder and I would pretend to shoot them, but they knew it was a stick.
They knew it.
They knew it wasn't a gun.
They're smart monkeys.
They were, and the only thing that saved me were my dogs. So the story of The Washing Machine is set in this farm that I used to live in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So when I was reading your biography, you were a former actor,
Yeah.
and you were also a former singer.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved into writing? Because that's a whole different genre. So how did you get involved in that?
Well, you know what? I wrote when I was a child, and as a young actor in England, I found that the parts for Indian girls were so boring and stereotypical, and the material, and I was speaking to a director about it, a great friend of mine, Indra Bose, and he said to me, the only way you can change that is for people to write material. So I started to write, and I wrote my first play, Windows, which was produced in England, and that's how I started to write.
Right.
And once I started to write, I loved it. Because, you know, as a performer, you can express yourself, you can really express yourself. But as a writer, you have more opportunity to do that, and you can do it in much more depth, and you can say what you feel. And other people's perception is based on their own intuition and their own life experiences.
You can lay your thoughts out, and you can talk about how you really feel. So where do you get inspirations from plays? Because I've always noticed that writing is the most difficult thing to do, because your whole storyline, everybody depends on you. If I was an actor acting in your play, I'd depend on you. So where do you get that inspiration to create that amazing story? Where do you get that?
I do not know. A lot of it, I've had a lot of life experience. I read a lot. I'm very interested in things, and I'm an observer. When I go to places, and that's another reason why I really don't perform anymore, because I like to walk in, I like to stand at the corner of the room and watch everybody. Because you know what? Humanity is very interesting, and the way people behave is very interesting. And those are the things I like to write about. I like to write about characters. And the play is about a woman who returns to her ancestral home in India, and she tries to erase the past. And you can't erase the past, because it's always going to bite you in the butt at some point.
Always, always. They always say history repeats itself, so past will come to you. Now tell us a little about the production part of the show. Who's acting in it? Who's part of the show? And just tell us a little about the actors and the director, most importantly.
Okay. Well, I'm really lucky, because the play has been chosen by the Next Stage Festival. And Next Stage is a festival that is run by Fringe. So they choose plays from all over Canada, and they chose 8 plays to be performed at the Factory Theatre, which is at Bathurst and Adelaide. It's the story is acted out by 8. We have a cast of 8. It's an amazing cast. I'm going to read you everybody's names, because I don't want to forget anybody.
Please do. Yeah.
And they're amazing. You know, they've really, really worked hard.
Yeah.
And it's a very moving and funny story. Aparajit Bhattacharya, Steve Cummins, who's a Dora Award winner.
Yeah.
Mina James, who's in Now magazine as a new young artist to watch out for. Jivesh Parashuram, Deepal Patel, who's brand new, first time on the stage. Sydney Penner, who plays Isabel, and Ronika Sajnani, who probably all the viewers know because she's in many of Deepa Mehta's films.
Yeah.
And Asha Vijay Singham, who I go way back with because when I made one of my first films, she starred in, it was called Max Neo.
Right.
Now, the director is a wonderful young director named Sasha Kovacs, and I feel really honored to be working with her because she has great intuition, you know, and she's able to read between the lines. You know, it's not just bang on text and that's all. She's able to understand, and she's taken a lot of time to actually do a lot of research into our culture because it's very cultural.
Nice.
You know?
Now, as soon as I finish the show, I want to go out, run and watch the show. So tell me, where do I run to? Where is the show happening? Tell us when it's happening.
Well, there will be 3 more shows on the 12th, on the 14th, and on the 15th. 15th is closing night. It's at Bathurst and Adelaide. To get tickets, you can go to the website.
And how much is the ticket?
The ticket is $15.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no. It's very reasonable, $15. And theatre's magic. You know, movies, we get caught up in movies, and I love movies.
Definitely.
But theater is magic. And when you sit in the front row or any row and you see it happening in front of you.
And watching it live is always, you know, absolutely interesting. Well, thank you so much, Radha, for bringing us in. I mean, coming in and talking about your play. I'm sure it's going to be extremely exciting to watch. And all of you guys really need to head to Toronto and get the tickets. Just
FringeToronto.com.
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 Perfect. FringeToronto.com. आप जाइए, log on करिए, tickets खरीदिए. It's only $15, and go watch the play that's written by the beautiful Radha Menon here. Radha, thank you so much for being on the show, and I really wish you all the best with all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
और हम आपके पास वापस आते हैं with another interview.